Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joey G. What's going on? And I got a very serious topic tonight, and also the Raw preview. But a very serious topic. A topic that I didn't really want to speak on camera until I really had the facts. It's a Brooklyn hat, so, it goes with my Nets shit. What's that to do with this Ferguson case and everything? And I just want to say the 5 Rams, that's how many it was. I think it was 5 of them. Maybe 10, I don't know. But I heard the exact number was 5 of them, and they were in the beginning. I don't know how Jeff Fisher allowed this, because Jeff Fisher's a good coach, and that's another story for another day. But I don't know how he allowed this, and they walked out on the field and went like this. Okay? Real simple. Now, I'm not really into it. Everybody bleeds red, okay? But racism's here. It's always going to be here. It's always going to be here. Let's face it. To black people, whites, we're crackers. You know what I mean? And there is, white people that, when you turn around, black people are niggers. You know what I mean? Just like Puerto Rican people, when the black person turns around, they're a nigger. Like, if a white person turns around, they're a cracker. You know what I mean? Chinese person turns around, they're a chink, an egg roll. You know what I mean? When an Indian turns around, they're a camel jockey, they're a sand nigger. You know what I mean? That's how the world's gone, and it's wrong. It is wrong. It's very wrong. But there's something I heard on here from other people that you got to look at things. You know what I mean? Racism is always going to exist, and it is wrong. There's bad white people. There's bad black people, there's bad Puerto Rican people, there's bad Asian people, there's bad Indian people, there's bad Russian people, there's bad Polish people, and you know what? I made jokes about all of them. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a black, a Puerto Rican, Asian, an Indian that's made fun of a white person, or a black person, or another, race. That's the way it is. Do I agree? No. I think everybody bleeds red, and I can get along with anybody, Joey J. You know what I'm saying? But to think that kid didn't deserve what he got to get. Let me tell you, if I was that cop, I would have blown his fucking head off like Mike D'Angelo did to Nelson Van Alden in Boardwalk Henfire. I would have blown a hole through his head. First of all, they want to brag about this kid. He was all good. He got money in his mouth. There's a picture on the internet. He got money in his mouth. Money in his mouth. Big sack of weed, which I have nothing against weed because, weed, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, he wasn't no angel, you know what I mean? He had a wad of money in his mouth, a wad, like that. He had Tropicana, big juice on this side, and a bottle of vodka on this side, a wad of money, and about an ounce of weed. Okay, the weed I can understand. But they're acting like he was this honor student, he was a thug. He was a thug, I got thug written on my arm. See? Thug. He was a thug, dude. He was a thug. You know what I mean? If I would have did that, I would have got shot. Nothing would have happened because I'm white. Nobody would have said nothing. It wouldn't have been a big deal. You wouldn't have seen 5 Eagles run out in the field because I'm from Philadelphia. You wouldn't have seen 5 Eagles come out in the field and go like this. I mean, come on. Seriously, man. You take responsibility for your actions. You know what I mean? If I'm a cop and I see a gang of 8 white dudes just singing around looking like they're looking for trouble, I'm going to pull them over. Same thing with black people, same thing with Asian people, same thing with Puerto Rican people, same thing with any race. You know what I mean? Same thing if they were all mixed and they're in a crowd and they look like they're real good and I'm a cop, I'm going to pull them over. Now, I'm not a cop, you know what I mean? But if I was, and people are just taking this too far. I've heard own African Americans, young, middle-aged, old, African American men and women say that, you know what I mean? You bring it on yourselves, you're wearing your pants down to your knees. I mean, I still wear my stuff baggy, you know what I mean? I'm Joey G. I still wear my stuff baggy and I'm 37. You know what I mean? But I'm saying this kid went for this cop's gun. You know what I mean? Like this kid was an angel. But you know what cracks me up? People say, the cops never come down the way like that. Down the way is, and where I'm from, North Philly, where they, Kensington, my part of, where you get drugs at. If you're white and you get off that L and you turn that corner, you're getting pulled over. If you're on foot, the cops are pulling right up on you. What are you doing down here? What are you doing? You're black, you're Puerto Rican, you ain't getting pulled over. You might once in a while, get searched because, what are you doing in the same spot? But if you're white and you get pulled over there, you're driving through, that's different because there's a lot of commuters. But if you're walking and you're around them corners, they're going to be like, what are you doing? You know? But no other race gets that. Well, I mean, if you're white or Indian, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But Indian, you could pass for Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? But if, you're white or Chinese or Russian, you know what I mean? Or Italian, you know what I mean? You're getting pulled over on foot. You know what I'm saying? It's happened to me. I used to be a heroin addict. I know what it's like. You know what I mean? Like, racism exists everywhere. Slavery happened. I think it's wrong. It was dead wrong, but it happened. There's no one on this earth right now that went through slavery. There's no one on this earth that went through slavery 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So get over it. Okay? Get over it. You act like us white people and the Puerto Rican people and the Italians and the Polish, we all had it easy. We had it hard too. I'm Italian and part Jewish. I had it hard as shit. Some of my people were put in a gas chamber by Adolf Hitler. You know what I'm saying? For real. The Italians, we couldn't get over unless we came over on a boat. And for years, my grandfather got made of being funny because he was, his last name was Petrellis. You know what I'm saying? And he got made fun of coming off of a boat until he actually made something of himself and became somebody big, down in Florida, and then he got respected. But he was known, for his first 4 years in America as the dude who came off a banana boat, a dingbat. What I'm saying is racism is everywhere. You know what I mean? And if everybody could just come together, whether you're conservative, liberal, or just a dipshit in the middle. You know what I mean? Everybody could just come together and just do their part. You know what I'm saying? And it don't gotta be blasey, blah, blasey, blah. And it starts with the gangster rap. I like Eminem, but rarely do you hear Eminem anymore talk about guns or anything. You never hear that anymore. Eminem raps about his life or what's going on in the world. You got some things, but he says it in interviews. I do it like the song Criminal, his older stuff, his first couple DVDs, his CDs, LPs. Yeah, but his recent ones, you can see he's grown up. He's got a daughter who just graduated high school. He's 42 years old. You know what I mean? Jay-Z's 43, and he's still rapping about bling bling. Get over it, Jay. For real. Sean Carter. You got ties to a satanic Illuminati thing, and, God knows whatever. At least I know Eminem's a real man. And I'm not saying I love Eminem because he's white, but he is the best rapper, and he's the most realest rapper out there. Besides, Tupac and Biggie, and they're gone. And besides Tupac and Biggie, it's LL. They're the 4 best rappers ever, and KRS. LL, KRS, Biggie, Pac, and M. For real. And I think Pac would feel the same way I do, and, straight up. Tupac's my favorite rapper of all time. You know what I mean? And you know what? I think there's a lot of racism in Tupac. I don't think he liked white people at all. I think he could get along, but I don't think you could hear in a lot of his songs he didn't like white people. Does that make me hate him? No. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. Whether we came from Mexico, whether we came from fucking a little island like that show Lost, we all, if I cut myself with a knife right now, bleed red. If somebody slits my throat right now, red's going to come out. It's going to splur on the scenes. But for your 5 Ram players, you're 5 jerk-offs. For real. That cop was defending himself. So, you know what I mean? If you want to act like this is a big racism thing for all you people, I feel sorry for you. Because that's just immature. It's gay and it's immature. You know what I mean? And just one example, as I was getting to, as white people get pulled over, and they say, oh, the cops never come when somebody gets shot down here. A friend of mine, not earlier when we were kids, we were friends. But as we got older, we really weren't as close. But we knew each other. We were cool. Eddie Pollock. When he died in 1994 and was beat to death in front of St. Cecilia's on the church steps, it took the cops, almost an hour? Wasn't it an hour? I got some friends that were better friends than Eddie than I was. Eddie was a good dude. We used to deliver the Northeast Times together. That's how I know it. That's the best I know Eddie. And he was the first dude I ever smoked a real cigarette with when we were in 6th grade. Me and him used to go behind the trailers at St. Cecilia's when they had the trailers. I don't know if they're still there. And we used to smoke cigarettes and then roll around in the grass so we wouldn't smell like cigarettes. And I knew him pretty good then, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Then, we got all into high school, and he did snitch me out for robbing dude Rob Bruce's garage. I'm sure, my friends out there watching it remember that. And, I thought I could trust him, and I told him, that, me and a couple of my buddies robbed, his buddy's garage. But he did snitch me out. But hey, we were in 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to get to, it took the cops an hour and a half to get there. You know what I mean? Down the way, I see down in North Philly, Kensington, West Philly, where I'm at, there's cops all over. All the time. You step on somebody's foot wrong, they yell, there's a cop there. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. You know what I mean? I lived through that. I knew Eddie Pop. I know his parents. His mom was the crossing guard right around the corner from where I live. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, where I'm originally from, Fox Chase. So I hate that shit when people say, oh, the cops come up there like that. No, they don't. They took them like an hour to come get my buddy. You know what I mean? And I'm not acting like, I know Eddie really well, because in later years I didn't. You know what I mean? But I did grow up with the kid and deliver newspapers with him. And I'd followed that whole thing that went on. And you can remember the 911 calls. They were on CNN and everything. The cops didn't come forever. You know what I mean? This is a fucked up world. It is. You know what I mean? And, if you're a Christian and you read the Bible, read Revelation, and you'll see Jesus is coming back. You know what I mean? As much as I want to get into entertainment, and I'm raunchy, and, and I say whatever, and I'll do whatever, and I will say whatever to whoever, and I don't give a shit, and you feel froggy, you jump, you know what I mean? But, now, I only got a couple seconds left to do my Raw preview. But let me give my Raw preview. But you 5 Ram players or 5 jerk-offs, get over it, okay? The kid did wrong. He was no angel, all right? Bottom line, I'm no angel. If I got shot, hey, it probably wouldn't even be heard of. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as this big because I'm white. That's why, okay? It's a different kind of world these days. You know what I mean? And I'll leave it at that. But this is my Raw preview for tonight. Real quick, because I get the last couple minutes. I do hear, and I know in a couple weeks, Brock Lesnar's not going to be on Raw tonight. I know the anonymous general manager, the computer's doing Raw tonight. They're going to, the anonymous general manager's not back for good. I think they're going to do this for a couple weeks, and then they're going to move on to another wrestler, maybe Cena. Triple H is coming back to wrestle. I know that. I don't know if it's going to be tonight, if he's coming out. But I know John Cena, I thought it was going to be Cena and Triple H at TLC, and it still might be. But now I'm hearing it's going to be Cena and Seth Rollins. I don't know. They still got to come up with a GM. There's rumors that it might be Sting and Triple H at TLC in a TLC match for the general manager. Or it's going to be Sting and I don't know who. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sting and Vince McMahon? I don't know. But tonight on Raw from Oklahoma, CM Punk did a podcast over the weekend, and he trashed the WWE. He trashed the WWE. He literally trashed them. He said some foul shit. You can look it up on the internet, and he basically told the Oklahoma fans, because Raw's in Oklahoma City tonight, to hijack Raw. Basically, the hijack Raw is to turn around and not watch it. Not how Daniel Bryan did it a year ago before WrestleMania with all the fans in the ring. Literally turn around like they do to Bo Dallas and NXT and go like this. And CM Punk said, you really want me back? You want guys like Colt Cabana back? Hijack Raw. So, when I'm hearing all these Raw reviews, that the WWE has to address this, because CM Punk said some really rotten shit and some trashy shit, whether it's true or not. Vince McMahon, Stephanie Marie McMahon, Linda McMahon, Triple H, John Laurinaitis, Billy Kidman, Michael Hayes, somebody better go out there tonight and friggin' set something straight, because you listen to that CM Punk podcast, and it's on YouTube now. What do you call it? The things he says is unbelievable. I don't want to give it away to you fans, but I don't think CM Punk, unless this is a cahoots like they said, and he's going to come back and win the Royal Rumble, but you listen to what he said on his podcast, he ain't coming back for the Royal Rumble. And it's a shame, because they're going to dump that all on AJ. They're going to put the Bellas, which the Bellas are, I like AJ, as you see. I got a picture right there of her, the Black Widow. What do you call it? I still love AJ and still love to pump the onion. But, I don't know why. I think she knew that her husband or fiancé-to-be was going to say this, and I think that's the reason why she was going to quit. She wasn't pregnant. I thought she was. It's because of what Punk was going to say, and she knew, Phil, that's his real name, Phil Brooks, doesn't let up, and he went nuts. calling Vince McMahon a racist, a bunch of stuff. But wet t-shirt contest is coming tomorrow night. I will give you more details on that coming in January. But this is Joey G. Keep the peace and keep my words real. And you know I'm just keeping it real. Peace.